Hello, and today we're going to be talking about the most invincible roller coasters in the industry. And all of these invincible roller coasters can be described as coasters with a well-known legacy. Since the creation of these roller coasters, they are still popular today, and their awesome legacies will remain intact. And when the video is done, let me know some other invincible roller coasters in the comments, please. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. And coming in as the first roller coaster on the list, we got Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. And the almighty Steel Vengeance might be one of the newer roller coasters on this list, but since its opening in 2018, this has just been known as one of the best roller coasters in the world. And on top of that, Steel Vengeance was RMC's biggest project yet, and that means it broke countless records. And now 6.5 years into its lifespan, Steel Vengeance is still known as the coaster with the most airtime on Earth. And many roller coaster enthusiasts still have Steel Vengeance as the best roller coaster in the whole world. And even though I find Iron Gwazi a bit better than Steel Vengeance, Steve is still a great roller coaster in my opinion. And who really knows when Steve's popularity will go downhill. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Phoenix at Knoebels. And this very small PTC wooden roller coaster is really known for its intense airtime. And this wooden roller coaster actually dates all the way back to 1948. And Phoenix actually operated in San Antonio, Texas for the first time. And in 1985, Knoebels Resort got this coaster. And Phoenix has actually won many Golden Tickets awards for the best wooden roller coaster in the world. Phoenix layout is overall very simple. You have a lift hill, then you have a turn, airtime hills, and so on. And even though this old layout is pretty simple, the airtime is just crazy. And on top of that, the trains on Phoenix also has this old lap bar design, so there's a lot of space for airtime. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Monu at Busch Gardens Tampa. And even though I could have chosen the original B&M inverted coaster, I just don't really think that the legacy holds up right there. But in my opinion, I just think Monu is known as the best and most infamous B&M invert out there. And since 1996, this inverted roller coaster has been crushing people with positive G-forces. And for many people like me, Monu is just the best B&M inverted roller coaster in the whole world. And the positive G-force heavy intensity on Monu just feels a bit better than any other B&M I've tried. And after a very lengthy ride on Monu, your blood is gone from your legs, so you can't really feel them. I would recommend the back row for the most intense experience. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Magnum XL200 at Cedar Point. And what can you really say? We have another roller coaster at Cedar Point, but Cedar Point is just known for having iconic roller coasters overall. And Magnum XL200 was really a behemoth of a roller coaster back in 1989. And created by the roller coaster pioneers called Aerodynamics, Magnum XL200 stood as the tallest full circuit roller coaster in the world at that time. And to this day, this bright red hypercoaster is very iconic and very popular. This roller coaster is really known for its ending with these triangular shaped airtime hills, and these airtime hills are just so strong and filled with airtime that you might get bruised. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Teran at Phantasialand. And overall, Teran is a high-paced and highly themed intimate multi-launch roller coaster. And Teran overall is known for its high intensity and high-paced twisting layout. And when people talk about the best roller coasters in Europe, Teran is often mentioned. And for me, Teran is a really fun and high-paced ride with a few airtime moments, but it's a bit overrated in my opinion. But the high pace and punchy launches really makes Teran very rideable and very fun. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. And what can we really say about El Toro? Almost every coaster enthusiast knows this roller coaster. El Toro is really known as a humongous, intimate prefab wooden roller coaster. And combined with a few problems and challenges, this wooden roller coaster is really well known. And El Toro also features an unbelievable ride experience. The huge and very steep first drop combined with two camelback hills gives some of the strongest airtime in the whole world. And El Toro overall just a crazy, intense and shaky wooden roller coaster. And we're all begging for a complete refurbishment of El Toro. And coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Oblivion at Alton Towers. And now traveling back to Europe, we have one of the most iconic roller coasters from the UK. And Alton Towers overall has been known for being very creative with their rides. And this is where they work with B&M to create a brand new coaster model. And this is where they created Oblivion, the first dive roller coaster in the world. This coaster looks very scary because it dives almost vertical into the tunnel, and this drop is over 150 feet deep. And there isn't much more to Oblivion, it's mainly the scary drop into the tunnel. But since then, this dive coaster model has been very popular for B&M. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Millennium Force at Cedar Point. And what can I really say? We're back at Cedar Point again with yet another record-breaking roller coaster at the time. To be honest, I might think that Millennium Force is the most popular roller coaster in the whole world. And funny enough, Millennium Force opened in 2000 as the tallest full-circuit roller coaster in the whole world. And this was of course a very ambitious project created by Intamin. And this huge giga roller coaster really stands 310 feet tall right by the Lake Erie. And even though the ride experience on Millennium Force to this day is very polarizing, it is still a great roller coaster. The awesome speed flying through the tunnels at Cedar Point is just cool. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa. And back in 1993, B&M really showcased how to make a very intense and smooth thrill coaster. And this is where they of course created the intense and positive G-force heavy sit-down coaster called Kumba. And just like its big brother Monu, Kumba really offers a very positive G-force heavy experience throughout the whole layout. A few years ago, there were some rumors that Kumba were about to be scrapped, but no. To this day, Kumba still crushes its riders with positive G-forces. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Fury 325 at Carowinds. And this huge giga roller coaster by B&M stays 325 feet tall, and that makes Fury 325 the tallest roller coaster in the world with a lift hill. And this huge giga roller coaster overall is known as B&M's most ambitious project yet. This coaster overall gives an awesome ride experience with many high-speed, intense twists and turns, and you also have the iconic B&M floater hills in the end. And this huge giga roller coaster has won many Golden Tickets awards for the best steel roller coaster in the whole world. And this huge giga coaster can be known as a younger and better version of Millennium Force. Now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers. And speaking of legacy, this iconic B&M invert has been completely retracked and completely rethemed. And Nemesis Reborn, also known as Nemesis, is an awesome and very intense B&M inverted roller coaster that dives in and over the trenches. And this overall just creates a brand new ride experience for this coaster. And because of Nemesis' popularity, the whole roller coaster was retracked to Nemesis Reborn. And this is where Alton Towers created a brand new color scheme and new theming for the ride. So Nemesis will keep on crushing riders with positive G-force at Alton Towers. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Veloci Coaster at Islands of Adventure. And overall, Veloci Coaster can be described as a high-thrilled multi-launch roller coaster by Intamin. And overall, the entire second half on Veloci Coaster is just so iconic. You have the top hat element, you have the zero G stall over the pathway, and you have the best inversion in the whole world, the Mosasaurus roll. And Veloci Coaster is one of the newest coasters I have on this list, and this just stands as one of the best roller coasters in the world. And in terms of full package experiences, Veloci Coaster is just one of those. You overall have an immersive and heavily themed roller coaster with an intense thrill design, and the whole layout on Veloci Coaster is just world class. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Rutschebanen at Tivoli Gardens. Now of course I had to include a roller coaster from my home country. This may not be so popular among Americans, but Europeans and Danish people just know this coaster. Rutschebanen is also known as the old wooden roller coaster in Danish because it dates all the way back to 1917, making it one of the oldest operating wooden roller coasters in the world. And the look of this roller coaster is just so iconic with the man-made mountain, and this coaster features many airtime hills with great airtime. Rutschebanen really offers great ejector airtime in the back row. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Boulder Dash at Lake Compounds. And Boulder Dash overall is a classic wooden roller coaster that is known for its iconic terrain. Boulder Dash overall is known for being one of the best terrain roller coasters in the whole world, and people often say that this wooden roller coaster offers the best night rides ever. And it's very clear to see that Lake Compounds really want to keep this ride intact, and the park has actually added a bit of steel track for some parts on this ride to keep the roughness away. And to this day, Boulder Dash is still known as one of the best terrain roller coasters in the whole world. And now coming in as the final coasters on the list, we got Flight of Fear at Kings Island and Kings Dominion. And this roller coaster is really known for being the first electromagnetic launch ever, and the manufacturer for this awesome indoor roller coaster project was Premier Rides. This roller coaster starts off with an awesome launch, and after that you have a cool spaghetti launch roller coaster indoors. Flight of Fear really offers many high-paced elements with twists and turns and cool inversions. People to this day still think that Flight of Fear is one of the better indoor launch roller coasters. So now let's hope the legacy lives on. And now we finally come to an end of this video. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Have I missed some roller coasters? Please let me know in the description. And at the end of the day, I'm always gonna say bye bye.